Hi everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we are going to be talking about what Adrien and Marinette's relationship will be like when they get together. Because the theme this week on the channel is romance, apparently. No, it's not. We don't have themes for each week. We do what we want because we are a lawless channel. However, we are, at the end of the day, a Marinette Dupencheng support group. Maybe that should be on the channel border, the channel header thing. Maybe I should work on changing that. I'll think about it. Anywho, let's talk about Adrien and Marinette. So, what I want to happen for their relationship before they get together is what I'm calling the love square reversed. So, Marinette, because of all these responsibilities, she has no time for boys apart from Chat Noir. So she starts to hang out with him a bit more and starts to fall for him. And at the same time, she pulls away from Adrien because she has no time for Adrien. She still likes him, but she has no time to pursue any kind of relationship with him, and she kind of starts to fall in love with Chat. And in my opinion, she kind of already does have feelings for Chat, but she's denying them because she likes Adrien so much. As a result of this, Marinette is finally able to talk to Adrien like a normal human being, and she is able to display some more of her true character to him, which also is gonna show him the more Ladybug-like qualities she possesses, which is part of the reason why Adrien fell in love with Ladybug in the first place, and he finally starts to accept he has feelings towards Marinette, because in my opinion, he already does have some feelings for Marinette, but he's just confused. He's always confused. Adrien, confused all the time. It's essentially his character design. So by the time they've finished getting confused about which person they like, we will then get to the identity reveal. I don't think there's going to be any kind of romantic relationship between either of their identities until we get to the identity reveal. I thought the identity reveal was the season 5 finale, but now I've heard a lot of people have said the season 4 finale, and anytime I've asked the person where they've heard that information from, they've always said Cartoon Apocalypse. I feel like Aiden, I don't know why I'm calling him Aiden as if we're friends, he doesn't know me, but I just don't want to say Cartoon Apocalypse over and over again because it takes too long. But he definitely has the most accurate, up-to-date information on Miraculous Ladybug in comparison to everyone who makes videos on it, so I trust him that it's one of those 2 seasons. I have no reason not to trust him. Where Miraculous Ladybug is concerned, he has like always been right. So before I even had a YouTube channel, he was the channel I would watch for news, for spoilers, for teasers, for trailers, whatever. He was who I'd watch. So I trust him completely where Miraculous Ladybug is concerned. But I guess it doesn't really matter if it happens season 4 or season 5, because this is what I want to happen when it does happen. Whatever that may be. So the whole reason why Ladybug and Chat Noir don't know each other's true identities is because if Hawkmoth were ever to find that out, he could exploit them for it and could pit them against each other to get the Miraculouses, and it just wouldn't be good. So they're keeping it a secret. So either at the end of season 4 or season 5, they defeat Hawkmoth, and as a result they can now reveal identities to each other because it's over. Or maybe some other kind of disaster happens. We saw in Furious Fu that Suhan was kind of confused as to why she didn't know who Chat Noir was. He was like, you should know the identity, you're the Guardian, you should know who he is. So either they defeat Hawkmoth at the end of this season, or some other kind of disaster that happens and Suhan's like, you two need to know who each other are so you can get a stronger bond, or just by like maybe Alia's urging, like maybe Alia meets Suhan at some point and she's like, well, I know Ladybug's identity and I think it would be great if Chat Noir knew her identity too. So Ladybug and Chat Noir de-transform thinking they've won, and they just kind of stare at each other for a minute like, wow, it's you. I had absolutely zero inkling about it, and then Alia like screams into the void when she finds out because of how stupid her best friends have been. And I'm probably gonna scream with her, and so are all of you, I'm sure, as well, when the identity reveal happens. I'm not emotionally prepared for the identity reveal, I'm not. And then at the same time as that happening, Lila, or whoever is going to be the new Hawkmoth, I feel like it's Lila, but I've heard other theories about other characters. So someone actually left a comment a while ago with a theory about how they thought Alex's dad could be the new Hawkmoth, and I'm not 100% sure if I believed them, but they actually had some pretty compelling evidence as to why they thought it was him, and I was just like, huh. I'm not sure if I think it's going to be him just because he's not important enough. We've only seen him like twice in the whole show, like I think in Timebreaker and the Pharaoh, because Alex's brother Jaleel gets akumatized. They both work at the Louvre, I think. So I'm not 100% convinced it is going to be him, but I was like, that is very interesting. They made some really interesting comments about it, and I was like, oh, that's not a bad idea. So Adrien and Marinette reveal their identities to each other. New person, Lila, Alex's dad, Chloe, someone else entirely, gets the butterfly Miraculous somehow, because I would assume Gabriel gets arrested and it gets taken from him, but then this person manages to get it from them and they become the new Hawkmoth. And at that point, Adrien and Marinette are going to look at each other and be like, we should not have done that.
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that.
So I think the season after their reveal, whether it's going to be season 5 or season 6, who knows at this point, I don't think they're going to get into a relationship straight away, just because they need some time to adjust to knowing each other's identities. They just need to sit with it for a bit. I don't think they should just leap into a romantic relationship, even though they've fallen for both sides of each other hopefully by this point. I don't think they should just leap into it. They need to sit with their dynamic as Ladybug and Chat Noir, but also as Adrien and Marinette. Because their relationship is going to change, it can't stay the same as it is now. It just can't. It has to change. It won't be the same after they reveal their identities to each other. In addition to that, they also need to stop seeing each other as being so perfect. Adrien views Ladybug as this amazing, perfect person, and Marinette also thinks the same of Adrien. So by them knowing each other's identities, they will hopefully see the imperfections and flaws much better, and will see each other in a more human way instead of a more idealised way. And they also kind of need to stop being so dependent on each other. We saw, for example, in Lies how Chat Noir was waiting around for Ladybug and he was just bored and alone without her, and yeah, they need to stop being so dependent on each other. However, part of me feels they may just leap into a relationship straight away because they've been waiting so long to be together, and I can understand the sentiment behind that completely, wanting to be with the person you love. However, they will then enter into what's known as the honeymoon phase of a relationship, which is kind of when everything's great and you can't really see any of the bad, it's all just good all the time. However, as a result of this, I think Adrien is going to end up putting himself in a lot more danger because of Marinette. Not because she's asking him to, but because he loves her and wants to protect her. Which is a nice thing, don't get me wrong, but he already sacrifices himself a lot for Ladybug because he knows she's going to save the day. And I feel like if they're in a relationship together, that's just going to be heightened so much. So if she returns his feelings and they get together, he's going to end up sacrificing himself a lot in the name of protecting her and also helping to save the day. I don't think he's going to have any problems about her still being in charge. I think he's going to be fine with that because he knows that she knows best, but he is going to have a problem with her potentially getting hurt, which is going to maybe lead to mistakes, because if it's going to put Ladybug in the line of fire, he's like, nope, we're not doing that plan, I'm not letting you do that, which I think could lead to some arguments, which I think could lead to them maybe breaking up. I'm not saying they're gonna break up forever. They're gonna eventually get back together. They will like break up, or rather go on a break with their relationship for like maximum 2 episodes. At the end of the day, this is a kid show, and I do know Miraculous does walk a very fine line between what's acceptable for the target demographic, because there are certain rules to follow when you write for 6-year-olds, and also what Thomas Astruc wants to do. We already have Daddy Agrest's Basement of Death / Butterfly Emporium / funeral parlour, whatever it's called. That whole location walks a very fine line between what's okay to show for kids and what Thomas Astruc wants to do with the show. I completely get it. But like I said, I don't think this breakup or relationship break would be forever. It would last for like 2 episodes. Then they will get back together when they've learned not to be so dependent on each other. I don't think it's a bad quality, them wanting to protect each other. However, it's just, they need to learn to not be so dependent on each other and not to like idealise each other the way they are doing right now, because it's going to make for an unhealthy relationship. So I think it's going to start off great but get kind of slightly toxic. However, they're going to realise that and realise they need some space away from each other. As for the long term of their relationship and in the future of the show, I think they're going to stay together. They're going to have a super cute and healthy relationship. I'm so excited for it. However, I've seen a lot of comments about Adrien and Marinette getting married in the show and how they think like seasons 6 and 7 are going to have Marinette and Adrien married for the duration of it. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen because in order for them to get married, they have to be adults. And adults just aren't the main characters in kids shows. Kids are the main characters. Don't get me wrong, we have some very important adult characters. Master Fu and Suhan are really important. Marinette's parents, Adrien's parents, Natalie, the bodyguard, Madame Bustier, Mr. Damocles. You can have important adult characters in kids shows, and actually Gabriel is listed as one of the main characters. But he's not the main character. He's not Adrien and Marinette. The main characters in kids shows are kids, the same way adults are the main characters in adult shows. There are usually a couple of exceptions to this rule, none of which are springing to mind right now, but the general rule of thumb is kids are the main characters in kids shows. And if you want to see Adrien and Marinette get married, they have to be adults for that. So it's not going to happen. I think maybe there is a slight possibility they will give us a Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2 ending where we get to see them aged up as adults, maybe in their mid-20s, about the age I am now at 24, with them married or moved in together or something cute like that. But it will literally be one scene, maybe the last scene of the entire show, will be them married and grown up. We already know they're gonna grow up in the show, we've already seen grown up Alex in the show, but I'm pretty sure Alex isn't an adult. She maybe, seems to me anyway, she's about 17 in Time Tagger. So I definitely think we're gonna get older Adrien and Marinette, but older as in older teenager, older child, not older as in an actual adult. Like I said, I think we might get one super cute scene of them getting married, already being married, maybe being engaged, but it will literally be the last scene of the show. So overall, I think it's gonna be a really cute and sweet relationship as long as they can get past how perfect they see the other person to be, because that's not good for any kind of relationship, whether it's a cartoon relationship or a real relationship. It's not a good idea to see the other person as perfect. I think they both like each other a lot, but it's not a good idea to see the other person as perfect. It's just not. So please let me know what you think about their relationship. Do you think they're gonna break up? I mean, I don't want it to happen, but I think it's going to, because even though the show is for kids, Thomas Astruc likes to put his characters through some stuff, as we've seen this season so far. We've only got the first 3 episodes, plus Furious Fu. And Furious Fu is, it's not a happy episode, but it's not a sad episode, but the other 3 episodes have been pretty depressing, and Guilt Trip episode 11 doesn't look like it's going to be much fun either. Queen Banana looks like it's going to be fun, which is going to be on May the 4th, and Guilt Trip will be on May the 11th, if you didn't know, and it's going to be aired on Gloob, which is the Brazilian network. So I'd love to know how you think Adrien and Marinette's relationship is going to go, and I will see you all next time. Bye!